Tonight, one icon and one she-con sit across from each other in a bombshell interview.
This is my first ever remote interview. Why are you allowed to stay in America when you've been convicted of crime? No offense. Do you feel that you are living the American dream?
If the American dream were to end up on house arrest,
How would you define the American dream?
I think it's an illusion.
What was your first car? What was the name of the high school you attended? What is your mother's maiden name?
Are you gonna like hack into my passwords?
Z News starts now.
My guest has many titles: fake German heiress, scammer, con artist, actual artist. Please welcome the icon herself, Anna Delvey.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming. How would you define the word scam?
To take advantage of somebody and try to permanently deprive them of funds or property.
You learned that
Zero sum.
for your case. Good for you. In your own words, what drove you to exploit innocent people and engage in fraudulent activities?
Well, that didn't happen. So I was just trying to build something and it didn't go according to plan. But if anybody bothers to like look into my case, they will see that it was never like a zero-sum game and like I never planned to permanently deprive anybody of anything.
You just did to rich people what they have been doing to everyone for eternity. What do you have to say for that?
I mean, financial institutions defraud regular people all day, every day.
In your dream world, would we abolish banks?
No.
I was hoping you would say the opposite answer. You told 60 Minutes, so many businesses are houses of cards. You just don't see or know about it. What are the biggest scams that you encounter in your everyday life?
So much. Like banks, as you said, is a good example. Insurances, so many businesses are just huge scams.
Banks, insurance,
Real estate, the rental market.
The rental market. What scams have you fallen for in your life?
This apartment.
How much are you paying for this place?
Too much, yeah.
Too much?
I think it's publicly available info.
Who is a bigger hero to you? Sam Bankman-Fried, Elizabeth Holmes, or Bernie Madoff?
I guess I can relate to Elizabeth Holmes.
You can relate to Elizabeth Holmes. Miss Theranos. Why?
Because she's a female, she's a white female who had to go through the criminal justice system, and she's in prison.
You're right. You're right. Elizabeth Holmes is a white female who had to go through the criminal justice system. And you can relate to her.
Definitely. Well, I had similar experiences.
Similar experiences. Trade secrets?
No.
Could you say one drop to camera? One drop. She also had a voice.
One drop. No, I cannot do her accent.
I bet she couldn't do your accent either.
Right? To each its own.
You keep smizing. Who are you smizing at?
Just trying to gauge reaction of the audience.
Hypothetically speaking, what makes a good mark?
I wouldn't know.
Wouldn't you?
No.
Who's easier to rob, hypothetically? A nun or a baby?
I don't know. Baby doesn't have anything. I don't know.
So they're not worth robbing. Let's role play. You're teaching a class on master manipulation. What is the first lesson you teach me?
Look people in the eye.
And what else?
That was the first lesson, right? That's just one. Do you want more?
Yeah, sure.
Was this master class?
Manipulation.
I don't know. I'm not trying to be manipulative. I'm really hot.
Were you a user or were you being used?
I don't see myself as a victim, and I don't think I was ever try to use anybody. If I wanted to have a free trip, I would just went with some guy.
And so why not just be a sugar baby?
Well, that's a form of prostitution.
And what about it?
I don't know. I'm not there in my journey yet.
Where do you stand on seizing the means of productions and overthrowing the upper class?
But I didn't get too far.
Do you prefer Karl Lagerfeld or Karl Marx?
Lagerfeld.
Please say that to camera. Use the full sentence. Use the full sentence. No, say, we got it on tape. You signed the release. Did we slate? We slated, right? Say, I, Anna Delvey, prefer Karl Lagerfeld to Karl Marx.
I, Anna Delvey, prefer Karl Marx to Karl Lagerfeld.
Feels like I'm getting a sense of what you were like before. So it's...
Surprise! No, I'm just joking.
Which one are you joking about?
It's up to you.
Coming up, tell me about your artwork. Some pieces go for as high as $15,000.
25.
$25,000. Would you say that Art Basel is a scam?
It probably is.
Is it fair to say that you are not a socialist?
No.
Marxist?
No.
Capitalist?
No.
Where are your political leanings?
No, no comment. I don't want to comment on that.
Okay.
I want to leave my options open.
Leave your options open for what exactly?
You'll see.
I'll see. Are you running for president?
No, not yet. I can't. I'm not American, so.
Who is the first rich person that you'd eat in the class war?
I'm vegetarian. I'm not like against rich people. I don't know.
You're not against rich people.
I'm against stupid people.
Statistically, who's stupider? Poor people or rich people?
I'd say half and half.
It's 50-50.
Yeah.
Do some rich people deserve to be scammed?
I don't think anybody deserves to be scammed.
Really?
Yep.
And you sell art for $25,000 a piece.
Well, it's up to the person to decide. I don't think it's a scam if you agree to pay for that.
Got it. The definitions are fluid. So really, you're saying if you're a dumbass, it's on you.
Pretty much, not in relation to my art, but...
Yeah, not to your art. Of
My
course,
art
it's
has
beautiful, it's beautiful.
I'm not promising any utility, so I'm not promising that it will turn into anything.
What was the first lie you ever told?
I don't remember. There probably were a couple, I don't know.
What was the last lie you've told?
No comment.
I don't remember. There were probably a couple I've told. The photographer from Morocco said that he could tell you weren't rich because you always ate scrambled eggs. What's your current breakfast order?
He's an idiot. I don't really eat eggs anymore.
Give me your favorite meal.
I like coconut yogurt with berries.
Coconut yogurt with berries. You feel like an AI. Could you turn to camera and offer a PSA for all the people who are thinking of starting a career as scammers?
Don't do it. Not worth it.
That was not even remotely convincing. Now, could you turn to camera and
Not
offer...
an actress.
Well, then it should be even more convincing because it's true. Unless it's not.
It's true.
Can you turn to camera and offer a PSA to people who are thinking of quitting careers as scammers?
Find something productive to do with your life.
Is this like a moment where you're looking in the mirror or?
I'm not a scammer.
Coming up, how did you celebrate your freedom this Juneteenth?
No, I did not. Why celebrate it? Everybody else's freedom. I'm not free, I'm on house arrest.
Would you describe these conditions as worse than ICE detention?
Sometimes, yeah, at least jail have central air. And they have like a yard, and I don't.
You heard it here first. East Village has neither a yard or central air, but ICE detention does in fact. Fuck, marry, kill. Rikers, ICE detention, or house arrest.
Fuck Rikers. Oh, God, no. Fuck house arrest, marry Rikers, kill ICE.
The fact that you even get to choose just shows your privilege. Now, on 60 Minutes, you said you don't...
You see it.
I see it? Oh, I see it. I see it real white. Right, excuse me. Now, on 60 Minutes, you said you don't regret going to Rikers. Who else would benefit from spending time in America's most dehumanizing maximum prison?
Oh, I'm just curious. It's like a solution for every problem, seemingly.
Rikers.
That's what the government seems to think.
Ah, so you're being sarcastic. So would you argue that that you would abolish prison?
I wouldn't abolish prison. I would just use it differently. Actually, it's interesting because I think they passed a law in 2021 that anybody accused of a nonviolent crime, they don't get bail. So they just, they're free. So it's like the prosecution can't even impose like $100 bail.
Got it.
So technically, by law, I should have been free, but probably they would have used the fact that I'm German.
The fact that you did the crimes and were found guilty in a court of law.
And I mean, during the time, like when you await the trial, because it takes like a year, 2
You were in there
3,
for 2 years, right?
19 months.
19
yeah.
months.
But they count all the time towards your sentence. So
Got it.
It's not for nothing.
And you got off for good behavior during Black History Month.
That's right.
Who's your favorite Black civil rights historical figure?
Karl Marx.
Karl Marx. Did you make any friends in ICE?
I did.
Name 5 immigrants.
So it's actually funny because it's a federal / county holding facility, and the only reason they don't hold you at Rikers is because New York City is a safe haven, so they don't hold anybody. But it's just a mixed jail. So because there's so few females that get arrested by ICE, they're just mixed with the general population who are just like local criminals. I was in Orange County, so whoever gets arrested in Orange County, like I was at the same place with them. And I actually met a lot of people I knew from prison that like violated the parole or reoffended, and they were in ICE.
I don't think you listed one immigrant in that sentence. How many Black friends do you have?
Probably more than you.
Name them.
I have a lot of Black friends. Well, I spent 5 years between jails and prisons.
Sure. Name 5 Black people.
Kai, Neff, Samantha, Thomas.
Thomas?
Yes, he's Black.
Okay, he's Black. And one more?
George.
George. These are real names and real people that you didn't make up? Okay. Have any of them told you that if they'd committed some of the things you were accused of, they would be buried under the jail?
I hear it constantly.
And how does that make you feel?
I mean, it's awful. I mean, there's, when I was at Rikers and I was in prison, there were so many people of color. I did not create the system.
You just benefit from a system.
I was benefiting from spending 5 years in jail, in prison, yeah.
Gee. Coming up, can you name one victim that you do regret scamming?
None.
At Rikers, you had 13 infractions, including fighting. What were the other 12 infractions?
I pretty much accumulated like a bunch of minor things.
Have you ever shanked anyone?
No. No.
How do you fight? Like, how are you fighting in prison?
It was not a fight. It was, they threw away that ticket, but they still have it, so.
They threw away the ticket, but they still have it.
It was a horseplay. They downgraded it.
It was a horseplay. They downgraded it, but they also threw it away. But
they
still have
downgraded
it.
and they threw it away, so I was never found guilty.
Yeah,
of it.
no, they downplayed it and they threw it away, but it was horseplay.
So they can accuse you of anything, but they also have to prove. It's like a mini trial when you get a ticket at Rikers. So the CO, they can write anything, and then you go and like you see the captain or an officer, and it's like, oh, what did really happen? And they look at the cameras to talk to other people, and they have to prove that actually happened. And I won that one.
Your hands are just like, there's nothing in my hands. It's like behind you. Why are you apologizing? Is it because you're genuinely sorry, or because you're sorry you got caught?
I think just my whole story is misrepresented in the media, and I obviously made a lot of mistakes, but I was young, so like in my early 20s. And just like, yeah, it's been years, and I've spent all these years in jails and prisons. I paid off my restitution. What else can I possibly do?
They could deport you.
And would that make everybody happy?
In America, most likely.
But technically, any crimes that have been allegedly, whatever, that was convicted of, they can be done from anywhere in the world without, like, it's not like I assaulted anybody.
Well, except for the horseplay in prison.
Correct, yeah. So just physically removing me from the streets is not going to, like, solve anything.
Yes, and being like self-involved is not malicious inherently.
That's not a crime.
I mean, we're here in East Village. Clearly not. Now, you said that getting deported to Germany is worse than jail. Why is that? Is it because you aren't cool enough to get into Berghain? Like, what's the...
I wasn't Berghain.
Okay.
Just because I spent so much time and resources trying to fight this immigration case, and I feel like I should be afforded the chance to finalize my appeal, for example, which would not be possible from Europe.
You've said you don't want to be famous, but one of the conditions of this interview was that we get paparazzi together. So why do you want to do that?
To, like, not waste hair and makeup in an outfit.
But you don't want to be famous.
No, that's not gonna make me famous.
It
I'm
isn't.
just bored. I'm on house arrest.
Okay. But and you're allowed to step outside for the paparazzis.
Yeah.
What rule is this in the white privilege America rule book that says that you can do this and get house arrest, and in house arrest you can stand outside?
I technically don't step outside. I'm still within the confines of this building.
What I respect the most about you, actually, is that you stand firmly in your white privilege. Like, you are acutely aware that there are different rules for different people, that the system itself is rigged. Would you say that you have white pride?
No, I'm just trying to make the best out of it.
Blonde hair and blue eyes?
Pretty much, yeah.
Can I have my bag, Hunter? Let's take a selfie at a cute angle. Okay. Oh.